Okay, so by now most of the people watching have probably passed middle school. And what I can say about those 3 years of my life is that they were probably one of the greatest and most happiest years I've ever spent on this earth. Like, I would literally have no other care in the world besides going to school and having fun. But middle school is only fun for a few key factors. And to name a few, let's just say that the staff was shit. The school was underfunded and they didn't give a fuck about what you did in that school. As long as you got good grades, you were good. And I don't know if you guys had this shit in your middle school or high school, but they had this program called AVID. And AVID stands for Advancement via Individual Determination. And in short words, it's just a resume enhancer. You see, I hated this fucking class. What they would do in this class is sit you in front of a board where you talk about homework. They would sit you in a group of 5 people and 1 college student from the local college. And y'all would just talk about fucking homework. Like, if you didn't know what fucking 5 times 5 was, y'all would go through that shit on the whiteboard. And you would feel stupid as fuck. Not only that, my school was considered an advanced demonstration school. That just means they were smart as fuck. But none of that reflected onto the staff or any of the students. Because boy, I would walk into that locker room and see a slap box every other day. And there would be kids that would get set on the hall just to yell at teachers. And I can't lie, I was one of those kids. But I did it for a good reason. Because there was one day where I got sent out in the hall for helping my friend with a question during an assignment. Keep in mind, the entire class is talking. And I tell my friend that this answer is B. And this teacher has the audacity to yell at me and send me in the hall. So I started yelling at her. I am a whole 2 feet taller than this lady, so everybody in the class is looking at me and laughing at her. Like, bro, I got sent in the hall so many times. I probably got sent in the hall more than 10 times in all of my classes. One of the most notable ones was when I was in my construction class. About a month prior to this, I made a fan fiction on the library computers. And this fan fiction consisted of iCarly and Carly Shay getting fucked. It was like 10 pages and I would just sell it to kids for like $2. Anyways, I pulled that shit up in my construction class and the teacher seen. And these were on like $2,000 computers, so you have to understand that this dude was kind of getting sketched out. So he went to go see on my history what I was on. And this dude read all of it during class with a red fucking face. This dude literally sent me to the hall and called the principal on my ass. That fanfiction doc wasn't the only piece of horrid shit I had on my fucking drive. Because I had another fanfiction of a kid I died. And this principal read every single word out loud to me. Not only that, he read it out to my parents. And then I got suspended for 3 days. That was my second suspension ever. Now, 7th grade was kind of the prime year of middle school, because that was the year I had the biggest friend group filled with annoying ass kids. Like, I had a friend who would eat gum from under the lunch tables if we told him to. And me and my day ones would just mob in the bathroom and destroy shit, just all year. Like, we would throw fucking milk cartons and punch the soap dispensers until they broke. I even had a friend who would brought his dad's vape mod.
Yep. Oh, got a vape in here. Oh.
Like a big ass fucking cylinder with vape juice in it. I met this entire friend group in a computer coding class. We would code in this one Google sponsored scripting site called Scratch. And there were these ear rape games on Scratch that you would just play and it would just blare your speakers. And we did not get headphones in this classroom. So all the students in the class collectively agreed to make this teacher as mad as possible every day. So we would spam shit like SpongeBob songs and Ram Ranch. And I literally had this class 3 years in a row with the same people. Anyways, I just woke my ass up, so let's continue this fucking video. Like, this teacher would literally send us out in the hall for looking at Google. And he had a printer in that fucking classroom and we would print out random ass pictures. I remember one time where I printed out like 150 pictures of like a fucking SpongeBob image. And if you want a little taste of what that classroom was like, listen to this audio clip.
So we're doing an interview for Cancer Television. How do you feel?
I think cancer's a great idea.
And why do you think that, ma'am?
Because my child has cancer and he's dying. And my grandma's here to tell you something.
I lost my voice to lung cancer, and I need to know why it.
Like, this class was a literal joke. Another memorable class I had was art, and I was forcibly switched into this class when I got suspended in construction. This class is so memorable because of the teacher. Now, this teacher just did not give a shit about anything. He would let these kids run around the class in fucking loops and scream, and he would even get bullied by the students. And none of my friends really had the same art class as me, but they definitely had the same experience with that same teacher. And now moving on to 8th grade. 8th grade would have been the best year of middle school if it wasn't for COVID. Because in 8th grade, all the friend groups were settled, everyone was in their own little niches, right? And the entire school would just hang out at the skating rink on Friday nights. It was fucking lit. On top of that, another middle school got demolished and shut down. So a lot of those students had to come to our school. This middle school is more notoriously known for being bad than our school. So whenever that school got shut down, I thought I'd be walking in the halls just getting beat the fuck up for no reason. But it really wasn't like that because those kids were really chill. But the majority of them were really fucking emo. Like, I don't know what that school did to them, but every single student wanted to themselves. Not only did that shut down school bring students, but it also brought teachers. And that's when I met one of the chillest teachers ever. Like, students were literally telling this teacher that they were dropping acid in her class, and she would say just be careful and be safe, because prior to her teaching job she was a fucking chemist. And that shit was no joke, because one day I walked into class and my friend showed me gel tabs, and I thought he was the coolest motherfucker ever. I think 8th grade was the year that academically destroyed me forever. Because after that school got transferred in, I did not give a fuck about my grades. Like, 8th grade contained the most hooligan shit ever. One day my friend brought condoms to school and he put it on the fucking toilet. And then a teacher walked in, looked at the fucking condom and told him to take it off. And we would record these little videos at the end of school, and they're still on my YouTube channel. I'll put a clip of some of them on here.
Hello, fellow patrons. I'm selling ravioli.
But we would just say the most mundane bullshit ever, and we would upload it to YouTube. Like, there was no stopping these little ass middle schoolers because the staff didn't do shit about it. They only cared about the appearance of the school more than the actual quality. Because one time I brought my phone to school, right? It was the first day I ever brought my phone to school because we're not allowed to bring our phones to school. But everyone did it anyways. I brought my phone to school and it got stolen in 5th hour. And I still have yet to find this fucking phone. I tried to look at it on the GPS and it was just gone. It was just gone. And that shit was like $500. It was an LG Note 3 with a fucking stylus. That shit was dope. But as I'm going into my senior year, I'm looking at all these freshmen in this school, and boy have they fucking changed. They've went from little awkward kids like me and all my friends to hoodlums. And somehow they got fucking shorter, because I'll walk up to a little freshman kid and I'll be 3 feet taller than this kid. Let's not forget to mention that they all think they're gangsters and they have the Edgar haircut. Like, they'll literally be flexing guns on their Instagram story. Like, who the fuck gave you a gun? And it's only going to get worse, because I see these new freshmen and I'm just so fucking disappointed. Like, I don't know if it's just me being mature or just me realizing that this city is going to shit, because on top of everything else, my city's on the top 100 most worst cities to live in, and we have a fucking fentanyl epidemic. Like, if I was smoking the same amount of fake carts I was doing in sophomore year, I'd be fucking dead. And more of these middle schoolers are being caught with fucking dab pens and vapes. This shit's even normalized in elementary schools. Like, I remember if you had a fucking dab pen or a vape in middle school, you were the fucking boss. You were the king. You were like just the crime boss. But now everyone has one. Like, what the fuck is happening? And like I said, I don't know if I'm just trying to sound too old for my age or what, because I just don't see the appeal of any of this shit. Like, sure, I'll smoke a cig or get high a couple times, but I'm not doing this shit nearly as much as middle schoolers. Honestly, I just can't wait to see the next batch of freshmen next year. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be the end of the video. This is a pretty long fucking video.